Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling one of life's biggest questions, something we all think about. Where should you live? Are you someone who craves the nonstop energy of the city, or do you dream about the peace and quiet of the countryside? And this is about so much more than just picking a spot on a map. It's about choosing the very foundation for the life you want to build. This decision, it shapes pretty much everything. Your job, your finances, your well-being, and at the end of the day, your happiness. For a lot of us, the choice feels pretty black and white. On one side, you've got the city, this powerhouse of action, networking, and what feels like endless opportunity. And on the other side, the countryside, the sanctuary of calm, community, and a real connection to the natural world. But here's why this whole conversation is more urgent than ever. The UN projects that by 2050, a staggering 70% of us will be living in cities. 70%. That kind of massive shift forces us to ask a really important question. Is the city the only real path forward? Or does the countryside hold some kind of secret to a happier life that we're all overlooking?
Okay, so let's dive right in, and let's start with probably the most important factor of all, your mental and emotional health. How does where you live truly affect your peace of mind?
Well, the data shows this really fascinating tension. On the one hand, a 2023 study found that 40% of people in cities report feeling anxious, which is often tied to all the noise and crowding. But on the other hand, research consistently shows that just spending time in nature can slash stress levels by as much as 30%. And that right there, that reveals the fundamental trade-off, doesn't it? The city offers this incredible social energy, but it comes with a very real risk of burnout. The countryside gives you that deep, restorative peace, but that same quiet can sometimes lead to feeling pretty isolated. Next up, let's get practical. Let's talk about your wallets and your career. I mean, does ambition really have to come with such a crazy high price tag? The financial reality here is pretty stark. A recent global study found that the cost of living in a major city is, on average, 50% higher than in a rural area. 50%! That is a massive difference that affects every single part of your life. And it's not just about the rent, though that difference is just staggering. In the city, what you're really paying for is access. Access to world-class schools, specialized hospitals, and way more career opportunities. The countryside, it's so much more affordable, but that usually means more basic services and, fewer jobs. It's a direct trade-off, cost versus access. But numbers and data, they only paint part of the picture. The real story is always in the experiences of people who have actually made these huge, life-changing moves. So let's look at the human side of this whole equation. Take Sarah's story. She left the high-pressure world of a big city for a small village. And she said her mental health completely turned around. She found a new sense of purpose. But she's also really honest about the trade-off. She admits that she definitely misses the buzz of the city, the restaurants, the social life. And then you've got Mohammed. He moved from his village to the city to build a career in tech. He says, look, the city gave him incredible financial opportunities, but he also acknowledges the cost. He deals with a lot of stress. For him, the city is a means to an end. His dream is to eventually return to the calm of the countryside when he retires. See, these stories show us there's no single right answer. The city is an amazing engine for your career and growth. The countryside is a sanctuary for your peace and well-being. So life becomes this constant negotiation between these two powerful forces. And the goal for every one of us is to find a balance that we can actually live with. So where does all of this leave us? As the world keeps changing, the way we think about where to live is changing right along with it. What does this mean for your future? Well, a really fascinating new model is starting to emerge, and it's called hybrid living. With remote work becoming so common, more and more people are choosing to live in more affordable, peaceful rural spots, and then just dip into the city for work, for culture, for connection. It's a way to try and get the best of both worlds without having to fully commit to either one. And ultimately, that's the real point. The goal isn't to find the one perfect place. It's to design the right life. It's about figuring out your own personal priorities for your career, for your peace, for your happiness, and then crafting that unique balance that actually works for you. And that brings us to our final question for you to think about. Considering your own ambitions and what you really need for your own well-being, what would your perfect balance between the energy of the city and the calm of the country actually look like? The answer to that? Well, that might just be the key to your future.